Good afternoon, everyone out there, and thank you for watching my channel. In today's video is what I want to explain to you is how you can skip levels of success and get to where you want to go. In other words, how can you go from point A and skip levels, point B, C, and all those and get to Z or N or whatever it might be. There's a way to do that, and in this video, I'm going to explain to you and help you change your perspective on how that gets done. So you guys enjoy the video. Okay, first thing I want to say is this. Have you ever heard the term, life is like a game? Or there is a book out called The Game of Life. There's a lot of different circumstances that portray life to be a game. And I'm going to give you some idea of what I mean by, or what they mean by when they say life is a game. So when you're going through life, you go through different levels. Now, somebody who has gone to a certain level in life usually doesn't go backwards. So when I say that, is what I mean is, if you have a job and you have worked your way up in the corporate world or in that job, and say you've gotten up to like $30 or $40 an hour, whatever it might be, and that's on your resume, and you maybe change jobs. Normally, people do not take a big, huge pay cut and drop back down unless there is incentive for long term, which is, there's nothing wrong with that either. But most of the time, people will get to a level and they don't go back down. Like when I was young, I might be dating myself here, but minimum wage is, I think, $3.35 an hour. And I got up to, I think in construction, to like $16 an hour. Well, I would never result back down to that. Me personally, wouldn't, unless I had to for my family, unless things went that bad in life. But that, again, that's all up here, and that's for a different video. But when you go through different levels of success, it's like a video game, because is what happens on a video game is this. Usually you get 3 men. Okay, that's how it was when I was playing video games. But usually you get 3 men, and you go through levels. And you have level 1, 2, 3, and 4. So once you play this video game a lot with repetition, you start to know the levels. You know where the areas are that are bad, or something's going to pop out on you, or whatever it might be. You know how to get up and up. Now let's say you get to level 15. So now you're on level 15 and you lose your 3rd man. Now you got to start over. So now you got to put more quarters in, or whatever you use these days, I don't know, to start over. But you have to go back through levels 1 through 14 to get back to 15, which is relatively pretty easy for you to do, because you have done that over and you've already been there and done that, so you know how to get there. So there isn't much of a challenge. Now, I noticed when I was younger, what was always really good in life and helpful is if you had a friend with you, or a friend over, or vice versa, or something, and they had been through those levels, they can kind of coach you through and help you get through those levels if you've never done them before. Like, yeah, that's really easy. Watch out for this. Watch out for that. So it's kind of like a mentor, if you will, on the video game to help you get there. Now, years ago, and some of you might not know about this, but there was a game called the Rubik's Cube. And the Rubik's Cube was just a square game, and it had colors on every side. And if you mixed it up, the game was to get it back how it was, with all the colors on the sides. And it was not easy to do. Very few, I could never do it. Very few could do it. I would get close, and I might have a yellow one and the white, and I might get close, but I just could never do it. I even resulted in sometimes taking the stickers off. Maybe you did too. Busting the whole thing open and redoing the whole thing, making it loose. There's all different things you can do on the Rubik's Cube. But then they came out with something called the solution. So it was a solution on exactly step by step what to do to get this thing solved. And when you had the solution, everybody wanted that solution, because that's how you solve the game, the Rubik's Cube. So as you're going on a video game, if you have someone who's been there, or you have done that over and over again, you already know it, you know how to get from level 1 to 15 with very ease, how to do it. So you have the solution for that. Now let's take our personal life. You have someone who has gotten themselves up to, let's say, I don't know, $200,000 a year, or got the house or the family or whatever it is. He's been there and done that. That person can show you how to get from where he was at to you, so you don't have to go through all those pitfalls. The same way that your friend or you might know how to do levels 1 through 14 on a video game, or how to solve the game Rubik's Cube. It works the same way in life. Somebody can show you how to get there. It's usually a coach or a mentor who will show you exactly what to do to get to where you want to go from where you're at. And a lot of people don't take advantage of that and say, okay, this is what I want to do. They say, I don't know, that's kind of risky. Well, it wasn't risky for me to ask a friend or learn over and over and over again on a video game how to get to that level, because once I got there, I know how to get there. See, I'm never going to go backwards. So have I done everything in life and all this? No, I haven't done everything. I'm not even close. People have been knocking it out of the park compared to me. But I've gotten to a certain level and I know how to get to that level. So I've kind of set that internal thermostat inside of me, which I'm telling you to do. Get someone who has been there and done that, because life is short. There's only so many years that we have on this earth. So do I want to trade my life for those years trying to figure it out the hard way, or do I want to go and get help? Well, for a long time, I tried to figure it out myself. Then I finally said, okay, fine, I'm going to go get help. It's probably not going to work. So in my mind, I would think it's not going to work. But through repetition and good coaching, through my mentor, Bob Proctor, I was able to break through that. And now I understand what they mean when they say, get a coach, get a mentor. Get someone who can help you get to the level you want to get to. Get someone who has achieved what you want. Because it's just simply asking them, okay, how did you do that? What steps did you take to do that? And then follow those steps. Now, Bob Proctor always told me, he said, listen, do exactly what I tell you to do, and you're going to get the exact results I say you're going to get. And you do it until you can prove me wrong. Well, nobody was able to ever prove Bob Proctor wrong, myself neither. I can't prove him wrong, because that's what happened. But it's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get to a certain level in a certain amount of time. I didn't want it to take 15, 20 years, because I don't have time for that. I want to get there now. And once you get there now you can learn how to get to the next level. Like right now, I'm on a certain level, and I'm learning every day how I can get higher and higher and higher. See, there is no end game, because I know the higher I get, the more I can give, and the more abundant life I have, the happier I am before I pass on to the next life. That's how it works. So there's something called the game of life. Know how to play it. And if you need a mentor, get a mentor. Read a good book if you don't want to get a mentor at first. I didn't. I'm not going to say I jumped right into a mentor. It took me a few books. Then I realized, okay, this is what I want to do. This is the route I want to go. And it turned out to be the right route, and it's the right road. So I hope this helped change your perception and your mindset on what it is in playing the game of life, and how you can get to levels and just say, I want to skip that because there's no point. And somebody will know there's no point. I know today, why would I get that? Example, let's say I went from a Honda Accord to a Lexus. And in between, I had a few cars. But now, I know now how I could have gone right from the BMW to the Lexus. There was no point in the cars, but I didn't know that. So I'm connecting the dots looking backwards. I cannot connect the dots looking forward. Steve Jobs has that quote. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. And I just scratch my head going, what does that mean? I cannot connect the dots looking forward. But now I understand I can only look back at what I've done. And I can only share it with somebody else, which I'm very willing to do. This is how you do that. Don't do it like that, do it like this. And that goes with everything in life. So if you step back and you take a look at maybe your job, your career, doing something around the house, doing something at home, Once you've done it, you know how to do it. Years ago, I redid the kitchen in the house I was living in California. And I was doing stuff that I wasn't familiar with, doing hardwood floors or doing floating floors, and I'm doing all these things. I had no idea. Well, me and Google and YouTube became very good friends because I would learn. But now if somebody asks me how I did that or how to do that, I don't have to say I don't know because I did it. There's a big difference in doing something and watching a video. So if you just watch a video and you get knowledge, it's kind of worthless, because knowledge, unless you put it into action, is worthless. Just because you know all this information, you need to use it. I went to school for a long time, for my 12 years in school, like probably a lot of you did. And I got a lot of information in my head up here to pass the grade or to pass the test to get the grade. But did I use the information in life? No. As a matter of fact, probably like a lot of you, a lot of the stuff I learned in school I have long forgotten and I'll never use. Especially stuff when it comes to mathematics. I pull out my cell phone or a calculator, anything I need these days. Well, back then they didn't have that to do. You had to do the long division, write it down on a piece of paper, and that was another thing. Writing, what was the writing doing? So it was all I was doing was storing information up here. School didn't teach me, okay, listen, this is how you get from here to here. School teaches you, hey, this is the traditional way. You go from here to this level, to this level, to this level, to this level, and that's how it's done. And you don't go any higher than we tell you can go. That's going to be your cap. When you get that white picket fence around that house and you got the family of 3 and you go on vacation, hey, you've arrived. Yeah, well, that's kind of bullcrap, because there's no such thing as arriving. Everybody wants to do more. Tiger Woods wants to have a better golf swing. He's the best golfer there is, or one of the best golfers there was. Okay, a long jumper wants to jump longer. Everybody wants to do more. It is our human DNA to want more. If you give to the church or charities, you want to give more. You want to help more. Everything I do, I want more. If I go lay out in the sun and get a tan, I'm never tan enough. I want more. I want to be tanner. I want this. I want that. I always want more. When I go to the gym and lift weights, yeah, that's a good amount of weight to lift, but you know what? I want to lift more. Maybe I'm going to go to that big, huge guy in the corner over there and ask him how he did it, what to do. Because there is no shame in asking someone advice, especially if they have already done it. That is the problem we have. We don't ask anybody. We think we can do it ourselves. We can do it ourselves. What if he thinks this? What if he thinks that? Well, if you think about it, the person that you're asking is probably going to be pretty stoked you asked them, because you're making them feel better. Oh yeah, that guy, he thinks I know, and I do know, and I'm going to help him. And they're going to be more apt to help you. This thing, I'm just going to keep quiet. I have a problem, and I still do today, when I go to a grocery store and I can't find something. And I'm sure you have the same problem sometimes. And I'll walk up and down those aisles trying to find something. I cannot find it until I finally just ask. Oh, it's right there. Bam. Problem solved. That just took me from level 1 to 3. Okay, I got right to it. I got it done. Instead of spending 15, 20 minutes wasting looking down this aisle, up and down this aisle, I know exactly where it was at because I asked. So it's the same thing with success, and it's the same thing with wealth. You ask. So I'm going to leave a link down below this video. You can get a hold of me, a 30-minute call with me. I'm also going to put a link down there for Bob Proctor's best-selling book, You Were Born Rich. Get that book, read it, book a call with me. The call with me doesn't cost no money. It's absolutely free, and we'll try to get a game plan going for you. You might not be ready to do anything, and that's perfectly okay, but you have a game plan. Okay, this is what I need to start doing to get to that point, and I can help you with that. So you guys have a great day. Hit the like button if you like this video, if it helped you out. Share the video, and if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel, and you guys have a good one. Thank you.